This is Steve Burke, Editor News, CRN. I'm here at Exchange at the Gaylord Hotel. We're here with our very special guest, Mark Cuban, entrepreneur, former solution provider, and the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Mark, thanks for joining us here at Exchange. First question. Good. You know, you've moved from solution provider. You went
to the good old word reseller. I was a goddamn reseller.
All right.
Right? I was an integrator. What is a solution provider?
But you moved from solution provider integrator, you went to entrepreneurbroadcast.com, and now on to Dallas Mavericks owner. Talk about what's the secret to your success. What has allowed you to succeed?
Writing for CRM back in the day and knowing Steve Burke. That's the key to everybody's success.
That's scary.
Yeah, isn't it? Golly, Steve. Being in the technology business, you just got to recognize it's always changing, and you got to try to stay 3 steps ahead. I learned early on that my job wasn't to give customers what they wanted. My job was to try to help envision what my customers would need and be there to provide it to them before they knew they needed it. Back in the day in the 80s, when I was 7 years old, we were selling local area networks before anybody thought they needed local area networks. And now, hopefully the solution providers, the integrators here, got into selling cloud computing and all kinds of the other integration opportunities before companies, or now as companies are recognizing that even small businesses can deal with cloud computing and, how to integrate, or do you integrate applications like Google Docs versus Microsoft Office? Yeah. And what are all the pieces that go into doing that? The nice thing is the internet's become a stable enough platform that you can build on it, and a lot of unique things can happen, and that's a unique opportunity for an integrator.
Can you talk about, Mark, how the Dallas Mavericks are using technology to be more competitive, and you, as the owner of the Mavericks, are using technology?
That's a good question. There's no 1, 2, 3 things that we do. We see technology as an enabler, as a path to always look for an advantage. We started when I first bought the team 10 years ago, looking at how to do our own version of Moneyball and statistics, and when it was brand new, but now it's changed. There's trying to get a competitive advantage, and there's motion capture, there's all kinds of different elements that are coming in now through video and analysis there. There's blood work analysis, so there's medical technology. We're also looking, from a marketing perspective, what's the balance between traditional media, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and then what comes next? There's social gaming. How do you take the elements of social gaming and extend them into people's workplace, so that someone who works for Texas Instruments in Dallas gets excited about playing a game that just so happens has to have components that integrate the Dallas Mavericks and get them excited about the Mavs, even though they may not be basketball fans. And so I'd say for me personally, trying to get my arms around social media, marketing, and social gaming, and extending social gaming into the corporate space is an area that maybe we can talk about today, because that's a hot area.
Mark, can you talk about, are you guys using solution providers at the Mavericks?
No,
and
I
what
use
do you?
myself.
And what do you? Is that true?
It's
what
true,
do you?
Yeah.
If a solution provider, so do you guys use any solution providers?
I really don't use outsiders, just because I take it as a personal challenge to try to learn the technology, and we've got the people inside. There's times, I take that back. There's times like, we're using some companies now that have developed software in the social gaming space, a company called Virtu, and some other social gaming companies, Shell Games, that are integrators just in a new area. So they're not traditional integrators, but they're kind of ahead of the curve. So I try to look for the freaky people that are doing things that people don't understand, and see if there's an opportunity for this.
So you're out there doing it. Any area that you're particularly looking at now that you're pushing the envelope with technology?
Social gaming right now is the key. It's not just about playing Farmville. That's kind of the nuts and bolts of it. But can you get people excited about going to work? Are there things you can do in work that make it more fun, and that I can extend and integrate into all my different businesses, whether it's movies, HDNet, Landmark Theaters, the Mavericks, whatever it may be. So people, the thing about social gaming all of us at work and our lives, we get bored, you know, and we look for things that kind of push our imagination and compel us to do things. And you know, social gaming is an area right now that I'm trying to figure out how to give myself a competitive advantage with.
Mark, these guys are grappling with very rapid, fast-paced technology
Some
change.
things never change, huh?
Right. What's the secret to succeeding when you're dealing in that kind of hyper-competitive
you know, it's
sort of
harder.
technology wind tunnel?
You know, back in the day, all you had to do was read CRN and some of the CFP publications. Now, you got to stay on top of everything, man. There's so many different websites, and it's a challenge. You know, you really got to bust your ass to understand not just the things that, you know, you have to know what the things you're selling, obviously, and how to make them work and how to make your customers happy. But you got to dedicate a portion of your day, night, and weekends to staying ahead, because there's some 22-year-old kid or 15-year-old kid that thinks they can walk in and understands it better. The good news is the internet's not new anymore. This isn't a platform that's new and different. This is a platform that's stable and has been around for 15 years. And so no one really has a specific edge. It's just the person who works the hardest and uses their imagination the best that can get an edge.
Mark, if you were starting up a solution provider business today, what would you focus on?
I mean, if I was 22 again and getting started, I'd probably start to take the path of least resistance, which would be working with people in their homes to set up wireless. You know, there's people just presume you just walk into the store or go to Amazon and you order a wireless router and you pull all the pieces together, but it's confusing to a lot of people. Yeah. And you can go out there and you know, make a couple of $300 in an installation and show them how to get their home to work right, so that, you know, YouTube doesn't buffer and you know, it doesn't slow down when the kids download some things. So you know, so I'd be doing that. If I had an established business, I'd be pushing towards cloud computing and social gaming in corporate environments. I think, you know, people understand social gaming and how they use it personally, but they don't yet understand it, how to integrate it into business, and I think that's a unique opportunity.
Super. What was your favorite part of working at CRN?
Writing columns and winning the stock picking contest.
There you go. Mark Cuban, solution provider, former solution provider, entrepreneur, owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.